Oh, you know what I hate?
What?
Loud breathers. No, seriously.
The guy?
Yeah.
Like in the movie theater?
But someone I'm not gonna say his name. Like, I was watching an episode of Game of Thrones with a friend, and they were breathing so hard. Somebody else,
Glad it wasn't
another friend, and I honestly asked them if they were okay.
I think some people don't notice it. I don't think they know.
Well, I think it's a lot of people sitting a certain way and they cut off their breathing.
Like snoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was wondering if the guy had like fallen asleep or something like that.
Yeah, he was loud.
Welcome, one and all. This is Third Winter. I'm joined here with Andrew. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm so good. And also Dan.
Hey.
Dan, my boy. How you doing?
I'm tired, dude.
You're very tired?
Yeah, we just saw Shazam.
Sorry, I'm texting my mom real quick. Asked me if my friends went home. Guys, I am, 22? Yeah, I still live with my parents.
Hey, it's okay.
We're moving out soon.
We're moving out in the fall.
We're finding a nice little place that we can actually have a studio that's real.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Keep talking for a second, I guess.
Well, I don't know. The thing is that, like, it's easy to live with family at this point in our lives.
Yeah.
Because we're all very much adults.
Yeah.
But we have to pay for university and things like that.
F that.
That's right.
So it's easier to pay just the tuition and live free at home. Unless you're like me, where you're taking a break from university and your parents are like, hey, if you're not going to go to university, then you have to pay rent.
Thanks for vamping. I got my notes now.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so first off, I kind of want to talk about this Joker trailer.
Okay.
So what do you guys think of that?
I am actually really excited.
Yeah, it looks really interesting.
So
it looks very much like the Dark Knight Joker.
The Dark Knight Returns, or
The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight.
The one the Joker's in.
Okay, but because I haven't seen The Dark Knight Returns, but I watched a video on it.
The Dark Knight Returns.
Like we're talking about, like.
Oh, is that one of the animated ones?
Yeah, it's the animated movie. There's
like
part 1 and part 2, but
where Mark Hamill plays Joker.
Don't know exactly who's in it, but my boy Jeremy Johns was actually reviewing the trailer, and he talked about how in The Dark Knight Returns, you know that shot where he's standing out in front of he's standing in front of the curtains as they open up, and there's the crowd. Apparently in The Dark Knight Returns, that happens, and the crowd doesn't make it out. So that's an interesting thought that, I don't know, is he going to blow that shit up? I don't know exactly what happens. I haven't actually seen that one. But
kind of scary.
Yeah. But what do you guys, like, do you think it's ripping off? A lot of people are saying that it's just very reminiscent of Heath Ledger Joker.
Heath Ledger, yeah.
Well, he was a powerful Joker, so I don't see if there's really that much wrong with that.
Yeah, well, that was a lot of the controversy, I guess, if you can call it controversy, of they were saying his looked too much like him.
I don't think his look really did.
I thought he looked more like Cesar Romero, the Adam West Joker.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think people are just mostly it's for the attitude and like the character itself.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
let's put a smile on that face.
Stuff like that.
You remind me of my dad.
Yeah.
I hate my dad.
Like just the characteristics.
Yeah, but a lot of people are reacting to this video or this trailer really well. They're thinking it's like the best movie ever, and I've heard some podcasters actually not. They're like freaking out, like they're getting mad at people because they're getting too excited for it. I mean, but it is Todd Phillips that's directing it, and he also directed all the Hangover movies.
They're not.
So that might might be something bad there. Do you guys think anything you guys are hoping to see in this movie?
I don't know. I want to see more of what makes Joker Joker, because like you get a lot of backstory within the Batman films about Joker and how he became the Joker. But I want a more personal view into the twisted mind of Joker.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah.
Nothing much.
Same.
Just lukewarm.
It looks interesting.
It does look
It'll
interesting.
be good.
It's gonna be interesting seeing how people react to society turning him into that. Does that make sense? Instead of him just being a madman, or actually learning the Joker's true origin, which I actually feel like I've already learned it with Fight Club.
Right. I think that's an awesome theory.
I think Tyler Durden is the true Joker, and I think we already got it. So I don't think we need this movie necessarily.
No.
Fight Club's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the GOT, Game of Thrones teaser, and also some posters. We just actually watched it. I don't know if you guys seen it before that.
No.
Yeah.
I usually don't watch teasers or trailers.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to now.
Yeah, sadly. Well, the thing is that like a lot of teaser trailers, or just trailers in general, like they're too much for me.
Yeah.
Or like they
reveal too much.
They reveal too much. Actually, do you remember that there's that trailer for? It was mostly before you saw A Star Is Born. Mm-hmm. What was that dog movie? Where it literally
Dog Ways Home.
Yeah, Dog Ways Home. Where the trailer literally went through every single plot point.
Okay.
Went through everything.
You gotta look at their target audience, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, like,
do you think they're selling it to adults?
No, but that's not the point. But like
also that movie's based on a true story.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What the heck?
No, like a family took their dog on a little road trip from Oregon to Indiana.
Yeah.
And their dog got lost while they were in Indiana. Mm-hmm. And so they just had to go back home. And then like months later, the dog just showed up at their house.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. So let's make a movie about that, guys.
Well,
I'm sorry. There's some dogs that actually do. They find their way home. I've lost.
Dogs are smart.
They are smart.
If you find a dog on the side of the road, leave it. Don't move it.
Don't move it.
Yeah.
It knows how to get home from there. It's just not ready to go home.
You know what's funny? Like
my dog did that today.
Really?
She like ran away. She just decided she was going on a walk, and so she just went on a walk, and I had to follow her. But she like walked to the exact same route we always take when we walk.
Yeah.
And then at the exact same place where we normally turn around, she turned around and she went home.
Smart dog. What kind of dog do you have?
I followed her. She's a Labradoodle.
Yeah, I've seen your dog, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have the same dog.
Yeah, oh no, mine's a golden doodle.
No.
It's a black
tomato.
It's a black golden doodle. I love my dog. My dog's the best.
I actually heard
our dogs are way better than yours.
Somebody was talking about dolphins.
My dog's a puppy, yeah.
And like how smart dolphins actually are.
Dolphins are so smart.
They talk to each other. They can recognize themselves in mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
So can ants.
Really?
And bees.
What the hell? No wonder. They probably know that I hate bees then. Because I always get stung.
You always get stung? How many times have you been stung?
Actually, I wouldn't say I always got stung. I got stung on the neck just probably 3 or 4 months ago. And I'm pretty freaking allergic.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You got
panicking.
really puffy.
Yeah, it was kind of... It freaked me out.
You went to the, clinic.
The clinic, yeah. And they just here's a nice Benadryl shot. Grow a pair of balls and, live.
Let's grow a pair of balls, man.
Okay, let's get to this Game of Thrones. We go on our little tangents. Do you want to explain it to us real quick there, Andrew? What did we see here?
It looked like the wreckage of Winterfell after a battle of sorts. And let's see, you see the pin for the hand of the king.
Yeah.
Or the hand of the queen. It's probably Tyrion's pin.
Yeah. You see Needle.
You see Needle stuck into something.
Yeah.
You see a
Not really sure what it was.
Mm-hmm. And then we see Longclaw, of course.
Longclaw is laying over a body.
Yeah, and then we also see Jaime's hand,
Oh,
Daenerys's chain, dragon chain, and then we also see Bran's wheelchair. Which obviously and Lyanna's feather that Robert gave her her statue at her tomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This didn't really do anything for me. I don't know about you guys.
I think it's just another, it's another way to get people.
It's just like the Crypts of Winterfell teaser. It was just extra.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
shot,
it's just footage they shot for the trailer.
which is cool. I if they're gonna promote this, I hope they just do that. I don't want any more extra footage. Do you think we need an extra trailer?
I don't think we're gonna get another one. I think that's the.
No more.
Yeah.
I think we kind of understand we're all on the same point here, where we're all just talking
we're
about it already. Like
we're a week
we're
away.
advertising it for them.
Yeah, we're literally a week away.
We're really excited. Really excited.
I can't handle it. Like, I'm gonna cry. I've said that a million times in our videos, but it's just gonna be a bloody mess.
It's gonna be amazing.
But yeah, let's get to it. Shazam.
Yeah.
Directed by David S. Sandberg and stars Asher Angel.
I don't know. I
Zachary
don't know who,
Levi.
like anybody in that movie was,
Zachary Levi.
but
Come
it was
on.
so good.
You've seen Chuck?
Nope.
You've never seen Chuck? But you've seen Rapunzel or Tangled, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I've seen Tangled.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
voices Flynn Rider.
Okay.
A whole new world.
I-
Oh, not the same one.
I love Zachary Levi.
But yeah, Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, which I think was the star, Mark Strong. You got Digimon Hansu, Grace Fulton,
A lot.
Cooper Andrews, blah 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 blah. What do you think?
I really liked it, actually.
Andrew's chewing Skittles.
Anyway, this is Dan, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I think that DC made an actually really good superhero movie.
I think it's about their. Okay.
I think it's on par with Marvel.
Do you
It
think
is,
so?
definitely.
I think it's on par and better than Captain Marvel. I think this is the best Captain Marvel movie we've seen this in a month's time.
That's right. It's my favorite DC movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Even better than Wonder Woman?
See, everybody gets so hyped about Wonder Woman. I didn't think Wonder Woman was that great.
I liked it a lot.
I actually really liked it.
I liked Gal Gadot.
Yeah, she was
Gal
good.
Gadot's a babe.
So
She's like
straight.
11.
You're not wrong. Like, she might be a 12. But here's the thing.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. But that,
And she could murder you.
yeah, that No Man's Land scene, though, it gave me chills head to toe. The only thing I really didn't like was the CGI mess of the end, if that makes sense.
Well, they used Remus Lupin as the villain.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is spoiler free. We will get into spoilers after we give our grades. But yeah, what in particular did you guys like, starting with you, Andrew?
About Shazam?
Yeah, not Wonder Woman or Aquaman. I know you love that one.
I didn't like Aquaman either. Let's see. It was entertaining. It was funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It didn't suck.
I leaned over to Dan midway through the opening credits, and I said, "This is usually one nightmare of mine." He's like, "What?" I was like, "A DC movie." It's like, because I love DC. I take DC over Marvel just because I like their characters, I like their villains more, and I'm not necessarily saying the movies, because obviously Marvel makes better movies as of right now, other than the Dark Knight trilogy. But I just, I connect to those characters more. So, when they're good, they're great. And I think this one is a ball. It's a grand old time. It's funny. That's a lot of heart. And I think that's where it succeeds most, is the heart of the movie. Dan's looking for a trash can. He found it. Dan, what else did you like about it?
I really liked how, first of all, I think that Zachary Levi is a really fun guy. And I think he's really perfect to play Shazam. Because he just has that really quirky personality.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, outgoing and very high energy. And I think that's perfect for Shazam.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly what he is.
yeah. He's a kid in a man's body.
And I've always saw Zachary Levi as a kid in a man's body.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I thought it was perfect casting when they announced it.
It's the same way in Chuck, if you guys have seen that. That's a really great show. It was in 2009.
It was a long time ago.
It was a while ago.
Old.
It's old, but it's
Old
fun.
hat.
Terrible ending, but whatever.
Yeah. But
I find most
TV
television shows have a terrible
Terrible.
ending.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Fingers
ever,
crossed for
nobody's
next week.
ever satisfied with a TV show ending. Anyway,
Let's hope
How
that
I Met Your
changes
Mother.
in May.
actually,
Do you take that back, you
It's-
bastard?
it's
The ending of
actually-
How I Met Your Mother was trash.
I loved it.
this.
I love How I
Anyway,
Met Your Mother's ending.
Actually, let's get into this for a little bit. Because why would Ted be talking to his children about how he met their mother? What reason would he have? Other than to tell them, this is how I met my mother, and it's time for me to move on.
Yeah, I feel like the whole story was him trying to cope with the fact that he's loved Robin his whole life. Wow, this just turned into an How I Met Your Mother podcast.
How I Met Your podcast.
How I Met Your Podrick podcast.
Patrick Cockcast.
Cockcast. Podrick Cock.
Anyway,
Podrick Payne Cockcast.
back to Shazam. I really like Zachary Levi.
No joke.
It's really good. And I think that he portrayed the character really well.
Yeah, and I think either Asher or Angel was good. I felt like they were the same character. I think, though, the star of this movie is your boy, Jack Dylan Grazer as Freddy.
He was good. The kid actors were all really good.
They were... Oh, I love the little girl.
The
She
little black
was
girl.
so
Great.
cute.
She's adorable.
Every line was just so funny. And I think most of them actually got some pretty fleshed out scenes, too.
Mm-hmm. They all had like some solid characters too.
He
Yeah.
also plays Nick Sheff in Beautiful Boy. He plays the younger version of Nick Sheff.
Yeah. Which that was a really good movie, too.
Yeah.
Anything you guys didn't like about the movie? And without spoiling anything.
CGI wasn't great.
In a particular,
for particular scenes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can agree. And we'll get into more of that with spoilers. You mentioned the CGI wasn't up to par, really.
Yeah, the CGI wasn't super great. I
I think
liked...
it was good in a lot of places, though.
Yeah. And for the most part, it was good. It was just a few of the...
Characters.
Yeah. That weren't great. And... One thing I thought was cool, like, you've all seen the scenes in the trailer that are, like, where he's testing his powers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the, like, really simple techniques they used for that.
The camera techniques?
Because there's, like, very minimal CGI, if any, in those scenes where he's testing his superpowers or whatever. It's all, like, not necessarily in camera, but, like, stuff that you can learn how to do by watching film, right? And playing around with it.
Well, and it's shot on that handheld. Obviously, it's not really shot on that, but, like, it's...
Yeah, it was definitely still shot on, what, the Ari?
Yeah.
Probably.
And it looked good. Like, I like the aesthetic of him actually filming, and just like the YouTube side of it, without spoiling anything, just those two together, their chemistry and the way they go about learning his powers is pretty great.
I thought it was really funny. It was really funny.
Yeah, overall this movie is funny.
And they actually like did a good job balancing the humor and the seriousness too.
Yeah,
It wasn't...
the tone was good all the way through.
Oh yeah, and it definitely wasn't like Justice League where they tried to like input humor and it just fell flat so badly in Justice League. But it was really fleshed out and really even throughout all of Shazam.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I felt natural. It felt like a natural movie. I think the villain's probably the worst part of the movie. I had a hard time understanding his motivations. Trying to figure out what he was actually trying to do. But we'll get into it with more spoilers. But yeah, I think it was good all around. Do you have a word that would, that you'd describe this movie? Doesn't have to be one word. Okay. What about you?
Jamtessa. I was gonna go Shazam-tacular.
Jamtessa.
Shazam-tastic.
Shazam-tastic. You realize this is our grading system, right? One word to describe the movie.
Yeah, good.
I think it's a childhood cartoon.
I like that.
It just brings you back.
It really did.
I think
that was part of it.
It's very enjoyable, and I recommend everyone going out to see it. So, this is your spoiler warning now. We are getting into spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
After one more thing. That I guess doesn't really matter where it goes, but
yeah, well,
I also really liked how they wrote the kids' dialogue.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't out of place for like how kids talk.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when adults write kid movies, it's like some adult saw like some kids talking on the subway one time and was like, "Oh, I know how kids talk now."
Yeah.
But this one, it was like totally natural. It had a good balance of like modern references to like even some dated references. Like they reference
Big.
Well, they reference Big,
Yeah.
but I mean like the children's dialogue.
Oh yeah.
One of the sons references the video game Watch Dogs.
Oh
Watch Dogs?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I'm in 2015.
That's an old game. Well, that's when Watch Dogs 2 came out.
2015?
Yeah.
No.
Not a gamer.
Watch Dogs 1 came out while I was in high school.
Really?
Must have.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it came out in
'Cause I remember-
2013 or something.
Because I remember watching it. I watched a couple of their Achievement Hunters videos playing it.
Yeah.
Really good how they balanced that. The
Yeah.
only one thing that was like kid pandering was when Shazam does the floss dance.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's a shot in one of the trailers too.
Yeah, I thought
that
they were
was-
gonna cut that out actually.
That was weird.
What's that?
That was weird.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That was I didn't bother me. It was too little to bother me really.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
But let's get into the biggest spoiler: the Shazam family.
Yes.
What did you guys think about that? Did you guys see it coming?
Yes.
I saw it I knew it was coming. Like,
Yeah, I saw it coming.
I was so excited
I was
for that.
that movie like had me constantly counting because it was like, okay, there's 7 sins.
Yeah.
How many are out? There's 7 seats. There's like 7 thrones for the Shazam
Yeah.
Council of Wizards or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah. And for any of you guys that don't notice, it's about a kid or don't know about Shazam. It's about a kid that's pure of heart that becomes, gets some magical Shazam powers and becomes a superhero.
Yeah, he's a kid that's stuck in the foster care
He gets-
system because
Yeah.
He becomes Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
it comes Captain Marvel, which I actually didn't know was his actual name because I'm not that much of a DC fan.
Yeah.
I've mostly been reading Marvel comics throughout my whole childhood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't know that his name was Captain Marvel. I
I'm
thought it
not-
was just Shazam.
Yeah, I was so excited to see those families. Even though I'm not a big Shazam fan, I played it in Injustice a lot on my phone. Yeah, not the actual game, but the cheap phone one that,
It's still really fun.
yeah, it's still fun. But he was always my favorite character to play with. So, and then I knew about the Shazam family because, videos and podcasts I listened to. But I was really excited. But when they got there, it kind of lost me a little bit. I don't know. I felt like they were kind of miscast.
I would say they were miscast.
Maybe I especially with Freddy. I did not really believe that they were the same character, if that makes sense. Maybe they just needed more screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't around very long.
Because with Zachary Levi and Asher Angel, they felt like they were, we get them throughout the whole movie, and it is his origin story. And so we get, that camaraderie, or not camaraderie.
Cohesion.
Yeah, cohesion between the two, but we don't really get that with the others. And I think that's probably the biggest problem with that, even though it's small. But, next thing I kind of want to get into, we'll talk about the CGI issues. The demons.
So, yeah, there's the 7 deadly sins that are the main villains, basically, of the film. And they aren't rendered they're rendered pretty well. They're rendered very well. The thing is about CGI in film is that we constantly push the envelope for what is good CGI. Do you guys remember Tron
Yeah.
Legacy?
With Jeff Bridges' de-aging.
Where
It
one-
just didn't look good.
yeah,
But at the time.
at the time that was spectacular. You couldn't
Yeah.
tell the difference.
Well, I mean, I could argue that Gladiator did it really well because the actor. Beowulf too. But
That's a bad film.
I remember watching it and being like, is this a live action movie or is this
animated.
animated?
It's kind of like Polar Express.
I
Yeah.
hate that movie.
Yeah.
I hate the
remember
Polar
watching that.
Express.
It wasn't very
Because that
good.
one
We were
douchebag kid with the annoying voice
We
that I want
Oh.
to throw under the train.
were little kids when that came out. That's kind of crazy to think of.
He's joking, guys. Maybe. Are you joking?
No, I hate that kid. He's a little prick.
Ooh. He's a kid.
It's funny. It's fictional.
Yeah.
You guys just need
The
to
thing is
calm
that like CGI changes. Our thoughts on CGI change a lot over time. Our
Yeah.
perception of CGI, and so I think right now we're at kind of a plateau with CGI,
down. Yeah.
where it hasn't improved a lot within film. It's improved a lot within video games, like rendering things.
I think our next step in CGI is probably de-aging, because you look at Captain Marvel or Ant-Man and the Wasp, they de-aged both, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, and they look great. And then also with Samuel L. Jackson, but with the action scenes, you can tell he's an old man, but he looked good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the next step, and I think the next step is creating an actual human being that's actually not human. You know what I mean? They did it with War for the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the newer one, and it looks great. But then they tried doing it with Grand Moff Tarkin and Rogue One, and then now they're kind of getting into a space of, where we don't even need actors, really, voice actors that will actually do this thing, and they can CGI somebody's face onto them. You know what I mean?
That's still a lot more work than it is having just an actor come in and filming them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
but when you want to create these old characters again, it's a useful tool.
So I don't think that we'll ever get to the point where we replace actors with CGI. Because it just film somebody, then having to render all of that.
Yeah.
Draw a bunch of polygons all over the place.
Draw a bunch of polygons, everything. And
it could be cheaper in some ways.
In some ways, yes, but time-wise,
yeah.
No.
Anyways, the demons on these, in Shazam were just not very good. At first they were good. I thought, I was like, oh, they're actually decent. I don't really like them. Mm-hmm. But then they started showing up more, and it's just like, I don't think it's good.
Yeah, they're okay.
And Mark Strong's, or Thaddeus Savannah?
Yeah.
What his motivations?
I think his motivations were more revenge. Revenge, but also proving that he's good enough. There are people in the world that don't get over things.
Oh, yeah.
And even when they're little kids. And that was a big deal for him when he was a little kid. So that could psychologically just been ingrained in him. That's looking too much into
and
it.
I bet when the DVD finally comes out, there's going to be a deleted scene that's him and his family's business dealings.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. One thing that I want to, I wonder how many kids took it that way, though. There had to be more than just him.
Yeah.
That could have done exactly what he did.
Could have.
Or maybe they were trying. I don't know. I think my biggest issues with these are just logistics.
But he was the one with the resources.
Yeah, you're right.
Because his family is clearly very wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
With his father's business.
Yeah. Most of my issues with this movie are just logistics. People falling off, an overpass. They'd probably get more injuries than just walking off a bus, that just fell. They'd get hurt more than probably they did. And then Freddy saves 2 kids off the Ferris wheel when there was 30 others on there.
No, because...
Or did I miss something?
The demons had already thrown them all, and they'd gotten caught by...
Oh, okay. I zoned out.
Black girl.
So I'm wrong.
I forget her name.
Yeah. So,
yeah, the demons had thrown all the other people out except for the bullies.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm wrong. I don't think there's a ton of extra spoilery things other than the villain and...
There's really not. It's the heroes win.
Yeah.
There's a Shazam family.
It felt...
That's it.
It felt like a childhood superhero movie where...
Oh, there is one spoiler I want to talk about.
Okay, go.
Caterpillar.
Yeah.
Oh, Caterpillar. I have no idea what the hell that is.
The mid-credit scene.
There was a video that was on there that explains it all, but I just don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm sure some of the comic fans can fill us in, but DC doesn't really have as big of a following anymore because their movies have sucked since 2011.
I think they're on the uprise, though, because you had Aquaman that made $1 billion plus. And then...
Yeah, they made a bunch of money, so now they're able to start, experimenting a little bit, too.
Yeah, and now we're going to get a Batman, which we have a good director doing that. Matt Reeves, he did the...
And it's not going to be...
Ben Affleck.
It's not going to be Ben Affleck. Who do you think it'll be?
I wanted it to be Armie Hammer, but
Same.
McConaughey.
they say they're looking for somebody in their 20s, so I don't know exactly who they could go for.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I think Armie Hammer could totally do it. He's a young looking guy. I would love to see Armie Hammer.
Oh yeah, he's too old though. Well, that's the thing. They're looking for somebody in their 20s, and he's 34.
Yeah, but he looks really young.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the build, and I think he would actually be the
Boyega.
Yeah.
John Boyega?
Oh, they actually were talking about how
Actually, that'd be
Oscar
pretty cool.
Isaac could have been. They were talking to Oscar Isaac about it,
Yeah.
and I wanted it so bad because I love Oscar Isaac.
Idris Elba. He'll play James Bond
'Kay.
and Batman.
I'm fine with Idris Elba. Like, that doesn't bother me. He's a great actor.
He's fantastic.
The only thing that bothers me about him being cast as Batman is I don't feel like his accent work is very good.
That's true. I don't
So
think his
if they
accent
did
work
like
is
a
great.
British Batman in like the early
They could do a
18
Batman into the Batverse. One of them is a black British Batman.
See, what's wrong with that? Like, I would love to see someone like take on, like Gotham by Gaslight, take on Jack the Ripper, like a live action, Batman.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. But, other than that, I don't know who they're gonna cast.
I love the last scene in Shazam, where like the very last little bit, where Superman walks in.
Oh yeah, that was good stuff.
That was some spoilers. I was like, are they gonna actually show Henry Cavill here?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome if they did.
Oh, someone made a fan edit of Henry Cavill as young Robert Baratheon for the Robert's Rebellion as like a spinoff, and I was like, oh shit, that would be awesome. Anyways, that was awesome, and I love how he just Freddy freaks out and then just cuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
But I want a sequel though. I'm not gonna lie.
I do want a sequel. Okay, the thing is with DC films is that they are so far they've been pretty good at doing the standalone superhero movies.
Yeah.
But with Justice League, it sucked.
When they try to make a universe, they suck, and this is what sucks. Is because they
Justice League was just unfortunate. Like
like I loved it when I first watched it.
Well, because Zack
really?
Snyder's
You like that?
Zack Snyder's daughter died in the middle of production.
It was bad.
And then they hired Joss Whedon to take it over, and Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder have two very different styles.
Yeah.
And they're trying to consolidate their two opposite styles into one movie. Like, there's no way it was going to work. They made a bad call on the new replacement director.
If they're going to give Zack Snyder the keys to run this universe, give him the keys. Don't give him one key to unlock the door and not to drive the car. You know what I mean? Like, you got to trust your director. Because the thing is they're making him make a movie with one arm tied behind his back and them just telling him what to do. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to give a director something, let him do his vision. But this is what pisses me off the most, is that you make a good Shazam movie and it makes me want to see Shazam in the Justice League. But the Justice League is dissembled, not yet in film, but in real life, you got the Flash gone. Ezra Miller's gone as the Flash. You have Ben Affleck's gone as Batman. We don't know about Henry Cavill. We got Gal Gadot for sure, and we got Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and then we have Zachary Levi. That's 3 out of 6, and it sucks because you get a movie like this and you want this more.
I totally want Superman and Shazam and like everybody to be together. I think that'd be really cool if they could pull it off, but they don't.
I think DC's really set up to start to grab some serious market share in the superhero movies.
Because
since
with the
Endgame's coming and
ramping down,
the Marvel Cinematic Universe is
slowly coming
basically gonna die.
They have a Phase 4, but I don't think it's gonna live on. I think people are too invested with.
At this point, like, I don't think they could top. We'll see how Endgame compares to Infinity War, but I don't think they could top whatever ends up being their peak. Like,
I think that's going to be their peak, but I think it's going to be downhill from there.
Yeah.
There's not enough. Like, you have Spider-Man.
Everyone go back to the 90s when DC was good and Marvel sucked.
And watch, they're going to prove us wrong.
Before that, 80s, 70s, all that time.
They'll prove us wrong. We're going to say they suck. It's going to suck. But then it's just going to come out. They're going to have straight Rotten Tomatoes scores like at 100% always, Other than they are paying Rotten Tomatoes, Captain Marvel really got an 82%? I'm thinking mid-60s there.
It was good. I liked it better than Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp is garbage. Anyways.
I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It was just... Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not even going to go into that because it's in the past. I'm trying to go into this year with a new, fresh look on life. Be positive. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about Shazam before we move on to the next topic real quick?
What are the other things?
I just wanted to just close this out with like what you guys watched this week and just what you would recommend.
Oh, what I would recommend for
just like that's all.
Okay, Breaking Bad is still on Netflix, and if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, you're wasting your life, and you need to see Breaking Bad.
If you haven't seen Chuck, it's an older show, but it has Zachary Levi in it. It's really good, and it's on Amazon Prime. If you have that.
Yeah, I both recommend both of those, but I watched There Will Be Blood this week. Actually, I only watched half of it, but forgot how amazing that movie is. I don't think both of you have seen it, but go check it out. It's worth your time.
Also, like, I can't stop thinking about A Ghost Story.
It's so good.
That's such a good movie. It was made with like $100,000.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. And I talked to all my friends whenever I talk to them about film, I'd say, go see A Ghost Story. Because it is really well done. And I really liked it.
I think that's the best way to close this podcast out. Again, thank you guys. This is Third Winter Production. You can check us out on SoundCloud at Third Winter Production. Same thing with Instagram, Twitter. Gonna put up a Facebook. And we are working on iTunes and Spotify. That might be a minute, though. Do you guys have anything to say before we close this out?
Have a fantastic April.
Winter's coming. That's all I have to
Winter's
say.
over.
Winter's
It's summer
here.
now.
Within our world.
Yeah. Westeros is coming. Guys, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, watch it. Have a good one, guys. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support.
Night.
Bye, love you.